I grew up in the extremely diverse city of Long Beach, surrounded by religious diversity in every facet of my community. Within a 5-mile radius of my home, there are synagogues, Buddhist temples, and churches of all kinds. If you name almost any modern-day religion, you can make a safe bet there's a place of worship in Long Beach. This is me. I was quite the skeptic, if you ask me, especially since my family would always offer 2 different conflicting stories and answers. You see, I grew up with 2 perspectives. I struggled trying to figure out which one was the right answer, Buddhism or Christianity. Eventually, I reached an equilibrium, where both Christianity and Buddhism became my way of life. This is my story. Half of my family is Vietnamese, and with that, half of my family are Buddhists. I was raised with Buddhist principles, including the 5 precepts and reincarnation. I've been to many Buddhist funerals and ceremonies. These Buddhist funerals involved wearing a white headband and praying for the person who passed away. We also walked around the Buddhist temple while the Buddhist monks chanted. This is a common practice because it is believed that these actions help the person move on to the next life. We also have Buddhist shrines all in our house. Next to the shrines are pictures of loved ones who have passed away, and next to the pictures, surprisingly, fruit. You see, the fruit is left for the people who have passed away, and I've always been confused about this, but the way I see it is it's just like leaving flowers for loved ones. I've never believed in the chanting to help a past one or in reincarnation, but I do these traditions in order to respect my family. And even though I don't believe in these aspects of Buddhism, there are many aspects of which I fully embrace and integrate into my lifestyle. My mother always said that Buddhism is more of a philosophy than a religion. And many of those philosophies that I was born and raised with, I have fully embraced. One being the 4 Noble Truths. I believe that life is suffering. There's always something that makes you unhappy, even if you get what you want. The way to avoid this is spiritual enlightenment, or the Eightfold Path. It's to accept that everything is suffering, and to finally move past it by spiritually awakening. I believe in this. I believe that the self is very much like a river or the ocean. It flows back and forth, always changing, never in any instant is it the same as it once was. But here's the thing. My beliefs conflict with my other beliefs. You see, the other half of my family that I haven't talked about yet is Christian. Yeah.
I said, wait a minute. I want to get that. No, they're little dogs.
She's getting to know you.
They took me to church every Sunday, and they put me into a private Christian school, where I would learn more and more about Christianity and be even more diverted from my faith as a Buddhist. I went to Los Altos Brethren Christian Elementary School. Here I made many Christian friends, went to church every Sunday, and even went to Christian camp. You see, practically my entire life became one of a Christian's. And there was a point in my life where I became very confused as to what to believe in. You see, I was in a predicament. I didn't want to become isolated from any side of my family. But I didn't know what religion to choose. And so it wasn't until I met with a Buddhist monk that my answers were solved. He said that you don't have to pick a certain one. You can pick both. That meant a lot to me because it meant I didn't have to feel alienated anymore. I could fit in with my Christian family and I could fit in with my Buddhist family. Before meeting with the Buddhist monk, I was alienated by my Christian friends. It wasn't until after that I figured out that I had alienated myself. You see, I didn't think of myself as fully Christian, and so I didn't feel like I deserved to be with them. And that's my story. This is how I view the world, from 2 perspectives. I love the Lord my God with all my heart, and I walk the path. To some, my beliefs may be weird, but that's the great thing about California. You can find all sorts of people who believe in different things. The other day, my friends and I visited the San Luis Obispo Buddhist Church, where we talked to the followers of Jodo Shinshu, Buddhism.
Theravada is what they consider past the sages. So a lot of Theravada are monks, okay, and nuns.
Yeah.
As with Jodo Shinshu is for the ordinary lay person.
Oh, I see.
Okay? We don't have meditation here.
Uh-huh.
And our meditation comes in the form of hearing the Dharma, listening to the Dharma, and trying to use the Dharma to change ourselves and to help us to think.
What are you looking for?
Where am I really that kind of person? Okay? Everyone is full of blind passions, which is greed, anger, ignorance, which all centers around our ego. So the Jodo Shinshu teaching is to make us to think. How do I change myself so I don't have these blind passions? But Jodo Shinshu also says, because we are human, we're always going to have these blind passions. Okay, but it makes us to stop and to really analyze ourselves. And it's the teachings that tells us that we are accepted just as we are, but there is a way of changing ourselves. I guess you would say spiritually.
What's interesting was the fact that many of the things she believed in was different than what I've been taught and currently believe in. Even though we believe in the Buddhist teachings, we still have different perspectives. That really shouts out to the religious diversity that exists today. This diversity can be a bad thing. It makes choosing religion so much harder, the dreaded heretical imperative. But the freedom to choose whatever you want is sort of like a puzzle piece. You have to find what beliefs suit your life, and oftentimes it can be hard. Living with different beliefs than others inevitably creates tension. But if your belief system is what suits you, then that's all that matters. Now I'm at Cal Poly, a new chapter in my life. I've made Christian friends whom I sing worship songs with and pray, and every day I've been trying to expand my perspectives. Maybe one day, I'll see things from more than two perspectives. Only time will tell.
Earth has no sorrow